Hi, I'm Ang Shen, the presenter, and my topic is Amazon rainforest deforestation. The Amazon rainforest, often dubbed the lungs of the planet, spans approximately 6.7 square kilometers and contains 20% of the world's freshwater resources. It harbors a wealth of biodiversity, hosting around 25% of terrestrial species and providing a habitat for numerous indigenous communities. Additionally, the Amazon serves as a crucial carbon sink, absorbing an estimated 5% of the Earth's annual carbon emissions. The Amazon is vital in regulating the Earth's climate, storing carbon dioxide, and producing oxygen through photosynthesis. 5 decades ago, Brazil incentivized millions of its people to colonize the Amazon. Today, their logging yards, cattle enclosures, and soy farms sit on the fringes of a vanishing forest. Powered by murky sources of capital and rising demand for beef, a violent and corrupt frontier is now pushing into indigenous land, national parks, and one of the most preserved parts of the jungle. Brazil's President Jair Bolsonaro in promoting the exploitation of the Amazon. Since taking office, the president has implemented policies that weaken environmental protections and support the interests of agribusiness and development. This includes sagging key environmental officials, slashing enforcement efforts, and advocating for the opening of Amazon for business. These policies have led to increased deforestation rates, with the article citing a surge in deforestation by as much as 92% since Bolsonaro inauguration. However, what are the drivers of deforestation? Firstly, agricultural expansion. Analyzing China's role in Amazonian deforestation is crucial for understanding potential multilateral solutions to protect the rainforests. According to a study by the World Wildlife Fund, Chinese demand for agricultural imports, particularly soybeans and beef, is a leading driver of deforestation in the Amazon. China accounts for a significant portion of Brazil's beef and soy exports, consuming one-third and 65% respectively. The expansion of cattle farming and soybean agriculture has resulted in conversion of large swaths of the Amazon rainforest and Cerrado savanna in pastureland. China's status as the largest consumer of forest risk products highlights its significant impact on Amazonian forest loss. Importers in China are often less stringent in ensuring the sustainability of the products they source, accounting for 80% of current deforestation in the Amazon. However, it's essential to acknowledge that other global powers also contribute to deforestation in the Amazon. For instance, the European Union is the second largest importer of products linked to deforestation, responsible for 16% of such ecological destruction in 2017. Similarly, the United States was accountable for 7% of deforestation linked to international trade in the same year. Next is infrastructure development. The construction of roads, dams, and other infrastructure projects opens up previously remote areas of the Amazon to exploitation, accelerating deforestation. Road networks serve as conduits for illegal logging, mining, and land grabbing, facilitating access to once isolated forest regions. Amazon Environmental Research Institute highlights the correlation between road construction and deforestation rates, revealing that nearly 95% of deforestation occurred within 5.5 kilometers of roads or 1 kilometer of rivers. This proximity to roads and rivers substantially increases accessibility to rainforests. Furthermore, the study unveiled that protected areas adjacent to roads and rivers experience significantly lower deforestation rates, such as 10.9% compared to the unprotected areas as much as 43.6%. Among the roads exacerbating the issue is the Trans-Amazonian Highway emerges as a prominent contributor, stretching 4,000 kilometers across Brazil, traversing the heart of the Amazon and linking the coastal city of João Pessoa to the northeast border of Peru. This highway has been pivotal in facilitating deeper penetration into the Amazon. Although its construction commenced in 1972, the highway remains incomplete due to funding constraints and other challenges. Nonetheless, its existence has catalyzed a surge in deforestation. During its peak in 1990s and early 2000s, it is estimated that over 25,000 square kilometers of forest were cleared annually as a direct consequence of the Trans-Amazonian Highway. However, this contributes to several impacts. Firstly, impact on biodiversity loss. The Amazon rainforest hosts millions of plant and animal species, many of which are endemic. Trees not only serve as habitats for numerous species but also play a crucial role in regulating temperature through the canopy. This temperature regulation is vital for the survival of various other species. When the tree canopy is disrupted, the environment transitions towards a savanna-like landscape with reduced vegetation, leading to significant fluctuations in temperature between day and night and lower humidity levels. This environmental shift exposes species to harsh conditions such as high winds, direct sunlight, solar radiation, and intermittent heavy precipitation, all of which pose severe risks to their survival. The disruption of the canopy's temperature regulating function can be detrimental on the biodiversity of the rainforest ecosystems. For instance, a study published in Science Advances estimated that deforestation could lead to extinction of up to 38% of Amazonian species by 2050. This trend can already be seen with the endangerment of many species including the Amazon furtherlands viper and three-toed sloth. Next, impact on indigenous communities. The Amazon rainforest is home to approximately 33 million people, with over 350 indigenous communities relying on its resources for survival. However, historical data indicates that these numbers were once larger, with many tribes and communities becoming extinct due to deforestation and its associated impacts. This includes loss of food sources, soil erosion, water contamination, and vulnerability to foreign diseases brought in by illegal loggers, farmers, and ranchers. While legal protection exists for many of these indigenous people, as they reside within the Amazon's 422 indigenous reserves, they still frequently face incursions from loggers and farmers. In response, some tribes opt to sell their land rights to the highest bidder, perpetuating deforestation. Despite these challenges, Amazonian tribes often demonstrate a commitment to conservation, employing tactics such as protests, petitions to the government, and even direct action against loggers, including burning down their camps. However, they are typically outnumbered and outpowered in these conflicts. Next, deforestation causes an impact to climate change. Firstly is carbon emissions. The Amazon rainforest serves as a massive carbon sink, storing an estimated 120 billion metric tons of carbon in its trees and vegetation. When forests are cleared or burned, this stored carbon is released into the atmosphere in the form of carbon dioxide, a potent greenhouse gas. According to research published in Nature Climate Change, deforestation in the Amazon is responsible for emitting over 1 billion metric tons of CO2 annually, making it a significant contributor to global carbon emissions. Evidence supporting this includes satellite data and ground-based measurements showing the increase in CO2 levels following deforestation events. Studies have documented how large-scale forest fires often set intentionally to clear land for agriculture or pasture release vast amounts of carbon into the atmosphere, contributing to the greenhouse effect and global warming. Next is the disruption of water cycle. Extensive deforestation in the Amazon profoundly impacts water cycles and climate patterns locally and globally. Around 50 to 60% of rainfall in Amazonia region stems from transpiration and evaporation from its dense vegetation, with alteration in this cycle having far-reaching effects. For example, Princeton University led research in 2014 indicated that widespread deforestation in the Amazon could lead to 20% reduction in rainfall in the northwest United States and a significant 50% decrease in snowpack in the Sierra Nevada. This poses challenges for water resources, notably affecting irrigation in California's Central Valley, crucial for US food and dairy production. Furthermore, Amazon deforestation disrupts global water cycles, resulting in decreased precipitation and cloud cover across continents, particularly affecting the central United States. This shift could potentially induce droughts in key agricultural regions such as India, Africa, China, and United States. However, desertification on a larger scale would likely require much greater levels of Amazon deforestation. Although deforestation rates in the Amazon remained high in 2022, the good news is that in April 2023, deforestation rates dropped by 72%. This was due in part to increased enforcement of environmental laws and campaigns to promote sustainable agriculture and forestry practices. The Amazon rainforest is not just a resource to be exploited. It is a precious and irreplaceable ecosystem that deserves our respect and protection. By educating ourselves on the factors driving deforestation and taking action to promote sustainable practices, we can all contribute to protecting this vital part of our planet. So, the first solution is the implementation of enhanced governmental regulations. For instance, the Brazilian government could enforce laws and policies prioritizing sustainable agricultural practices and forestry activities. According to data from the Brazilian government's National Institute of Space Research, stringent regulations have shown promising results. In recent years, areas under government protection witnessed, especially Mato Grosso and Pará, a significant decline in deforestation rates compared to non-protected regions. Furthermore, promoting sustainable land use practices among local communities and landowners is crucial. Initiatives such as agroforestry, which integrates tree cultivation with crops, offer a viable alternative to traditional deforestation-driven agriculture. A notable example is the Projeto Agroflorestal in the state of Acre, Brazil, where farmers are encouraged to adopt agroforestry techniques. Data from the Amazon Environmental Research Institute indicates that such initiatives have led to reduced deforestation rates and improved livelihoods for rural communities. Foreign nations, businesses, and consumers must acknowledge their role in driving destruction by increasing demand for beef, soy, and iron ore from the region. Compensation from the global north to the global south, including Brazil, for climate damage and the carbon-reducing benefits of natural sinks like the Amazon is crucial to incentivize deforestation reductions. Recent commitments at Global Summit demonstrate progress with pledges of 20 to 30 billion annually for biodiverse countries like Brazil and promises of loss and damage climate payments. Initiatives like the Amazon Fund, supported primarily by Norway, have raised over 1 billion for rainforest projects, with additional contributions from the US and UK. Urgent action is needed to crack down on deforestation-related trade, as exemplified by recent progressive legislation in the European Union. Encouragement for the US and China to follow suit as major part of importers of Amazonian product is paramount for effective global conservation efforts. In conclusion, the Amazon rainforest stands as a critical ecosystem vital for global biodiversity, climate regulation, and well-being of indigenous communities. It's imperative that we act urgently and collectively to safeguard the Amazon rainforest for current and future generations. Thank you.